Okay, so we've got an example here for to try and get an equation of a line in the form y equals mx plus c. So currently the line is x plus y minus 2 equals 0. So getting it in this form, y is equal to mx plus c, is basically a rearranging of the formula, and you're going to use all your rules of addition and subtraction, things like that, maybe even multiplication and division, where the opposite of addition is subtraction, and so on and so forth. So, some understanding here to make note of. We're looking to isolate the y's, predominantly isolate the y's on one side, and we're also looking to end up with one y, just one y, not two y, not anything else. So, long story short, initially we're looking to get the y's are equal to the x's and then the numbers, and kind of in that kind of form. You'll notice here we've got a left hand side and we've got a right hand side. We've got the equals there in the middle. So with that in mind, let's go on here. Right, so again, just to specify, we're looking to get one y on its own. One y is equal to, then you'll have the x's, you'll be able to read off the slope, and then you'll have the numbers or whatever, and you'll be able to read off the y-intercept. So our line is x plus y minus 2 equals 0. So that's what it is. Now, if we, as we said, we want the y's on one side and we want the x and the numbers on the other side. So we have a left hand side and we have a right hand side in an equation. We have a left hand side and a right hand side. So if we look at it, we just want the y's. So if I look at my equation here, x plus y minus 2, and I'll start off and say, right, moving from left to right, am I happy with the x on the left hand side? Do I want x's on the left hand side? No, I don't. So I'm going to get rid of him. I'm going to get rid of that plus x, and to get rid of that plus x, I'm going to take away an x here. So I'm going to take away an x to get rid of it. And if I take away an x from one side, I must take away an x from the other side as well. Okay, so taking away an x from one side, x minus x will cancel each other out, and you'll be left with y minus 2 on the left hand side, and then taking away an x from the other side, 0 minus x is minus x. So let's just see that again. As I say here, as I'm going from left to right, I'm saying to myself, okay, I only want y's on the left hand side. First thing I meet here is an x. I don't want him here. I don't want him. Bye bye, arriva dirty, and that's why I'm putting a big X there saying no, I don't want him, let's get rid of him. The only way to get rid of a plus X is take away an X. X minus X is 0. You're going to be left with Y minus 2 on the left hand side. But if I, to balance it out, if I take X from one side, I must take X from the other side to balance it out. And think of the equation like a scales. So doing that, we get left with Y minus 2 is equal to minus X. So we're not where we want to be with only Y's, but we're a step closer. We're a step closer. So the next thing we're going to do, we've got our y minus 2 is equal to minus x, and all this is going to be abstracted away in your brain, all of this left hand side and right hand side stuff. But it's nice to see it so you can visually kind of work through it. So we've got y minus 2 is equal to minus x. Again, we look at the left hand side, we only want the y's on the left hand side. So we've got the x's in position on the right hand side, and we want to get numbers here on the right hand side as well. So if I look here on the left hand side, I'm happy with where y is. He's fine, no problem. I'm not happy where that minus 2 is. I want to get rid of that minus 2. How do you get rid of a negative 2? You're going to add 2. So you're going to add 2 here to this left hand side. And when you do that, minus 2 plus 2, you're going to get left with y. But if I add 2 to one side, I must add 2 to the other to balance it out. So you're going to get left with minus x, add the 2 to balance it out. And are we now straight into the correct form? Yes, we are. Y is equal to mx plus c. Y is equal to mx plus c, and we're in the correct form here. Y is equal to mx plus c. So now we can read off our slope and our y-intercept. So y is equal to mx plus c. I can see I had a slight little mistake on this sheet. I'll fix it up now. So y is equal to minus x plus 2 is the form that we've got it into. And that minus x, you kind of say to yourself, what's the number there? Well, the number is minus 1. So the number is minus 1 x plus 2. And now that we've got that, we can read off the slope, which is minus 1. M equals minus 1. And we can read off the y-intercept. C is 2. Of course, if we're looking for our coordinates of where the line cuts through the the y-axis is going to be 0c, which is going to be 0, 2. And that's the answer to that question.